Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is upset and throwing a little temper tantrum because you are getting to know somebody new. This could be you meeting somebody in the near future, and there's a friend that gets frustrated because you have less time to see them, or even somebody family-wise that gets frustrated. But of course, the natural assumption here is that there's a person that you broke up with or broke up with you that gets frustrated or even just super jealous because you've decided to move on. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Also, if you are in the US and want to be a part of the test group for my candles, I'm choosing between a couple different types of wax. So feedback from people really helps. We've got a guinea pig in Canada, I believe, but I just gotta stick to US, but let me know. Hello, Lemonade, how are you doing? Hello, Roya. Let's start with the Hocus Pocus Tarot and see what else we've got here. I hope you out there enjoying your weekend. I feel like I was supposed to be a little bit more lazy today, but it hasn't gone that way. But the laundry's almost done. What else do we have? We have the Eight of Pumpkins or Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Chariot. There's you moving on. You realize that someone wasn't willing to invest the way that you deserve from that person. And you're moving on. If this isn't going to work, I'm not going to spin my wheels or try to convince somebody that I'm worth it. You know, like, that's too much. I will take my energy back and go elsewhere. This person's frustrated with that. Knight of Pumpkins or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Star. So I'm reading for someone who's been able to focus on their healing, even though this was not an easy thing to handle as far as your connection with this person. You've been able to stick to what your decision was, whether that was blocking or breaking up with someone or ending a friendship. I feel like you have not gone back on your word. There's actual change here. Things are starting to improve in your life because you're not dealing with the chaos that the extra person gave. What else? Hello, NM. How are you doing? Roya, I do personal questions after the general reading, which is usually about 30 or 35 minutes in. With priority to those who tip or donate. You can donate memberships. So we've got Five of Pumpkins or Five of Pentacles, Eight of Potions or Eight of Cups in the reverse, and the Ace of Candles, which is the Ace of Wands, by the way. This is that new love. New beginnings are happening for the person who has focused on their healing. I do kind of want to refer to you as the Star. You could have Aquarius featured in your chart. But really, this is just saying that you have been able to address what was not working and put your time and effort into other things or other people. First and foremost, yourself, right? So they kept expecting that you would come back, but you did not. 10 of Candles or 10 of Wands in the reverse. 3 of Swords or 3 of Lightning, and the Page of Potions, which is the Page of Cups. Hold on. I think there's like an apology here. They're getting frustrated because they're seeing that there's more attention coming your way, or there are other people that are interested in you. while they're still stuck in heartbreak, you know, not really knowing how to move forward. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Hello, April. How are you doing? It goes that way sometimes. Hello, Mia. How are you doing? Page of Swords. Okay. Communication. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so this is someone who feels like maybe if I finally come clean, or if I'm finally honest with you and tell you what's been going on, or why I did what I did, or what I really said, maybe if we talk about it, you won't be so keen on walking away or, you know, meeting someone new, letting go of what we had. This is someone who does not want to let you go, even if they have said that they were going to be just fine without you. Or even if they have tried to make you jealous by going out with someone else, they still see you as like their person. Even if this is friendship, this is possessive friendship. But this is like, no, you can't like just replace me and find somebody new. Like, we're supposed to be hanging out. Hello, Wesley. How are you doing? I'm glad to hear that, Mia. I'm doing well, thank you. Hello, Jessie. How are you? Thank you for the floating hearts. World one. Hello, Lucy. All right, so we have the Seven of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so this is when they have options here as far as how to approach the distance and the fact that they miss you and the concern that you are moving on. And one of those options is to like just like talk to you about it, you know, like, hey, what's going on? Is there anything that we can do to address what's happened between us? And maybe even, are you like already talking to somebody else? The Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse can both refer to a commitment. We have Judgment, Four of Swords in the reverse. I wish that I didn't leave what we had just kind of like unfinished. I wish that I had tried to resolve the problem with you either faster or at all, right? For some of you, this has been a long wait to hear from this person. What else? Ten of Wands in the reverse, the Emperor in the reverse. There's a lack of self-control here. We keep getting this Ten of Wands in the reverse, which is somebody who feels like, you know, overwhelmed, or there's too much going on, or things didn't really go the way that I wanted them to. So we could have somebody who was not in control of their emotions, or maybe even had like an angry outburst, but that's what led to this Two of Cups in the reverse. And I feel like they just like sat on an apology here for a long time. And now they have watched you just kind of like reinvent whatever you want, change your life, make some new friends. For some of you, maybe even move or change your career. And they're sitting here wondering like, why is everything so easy for you to just like move on like that? This is the Voyage of the Soul. Hello, Wolfie. How's Ireland treating you? Oh, I love you too, Roya. Hello, Stephanie. What's going on? Hello, Abdul. I'm doing well. Thank you, Stephanie. Are we all enjoying the weekend? All right, so we have Empath, Sensitivity, Receptive, Alone Time, Absorb, and Replenish. The star individual that I'm reading for here is an empath. So if that's resonating for you, this is part of the reason that you were able to determine that this isn't where you should be hanging around this person. realizing that perhaps they were taking advantage of your kindness or trying to benefit from your energy, your loving energy, but not really willing to offer back the friendship or the romance that you offered to this person. So you have this breakthrough, this change in perspective, realizing that there was, something just not right about this connection. We have enchantment and collective. And perhaps you had a little bit of time to focus on who you actually have in your inner circle. Who are the types of people that I want to spend time around? Who can I tend to trust? That kind of thing. And then there is this enchantment. There's someone here who captures your attention. Either they already have or they're about to. And this is very concerning for this person from your past because they still see you as the one. But I think they know you do not see them that way. Yeah, polarity, contrast, resistance. They feel like you're just resisting what you really want when in reality it's coming through more so as you realize it's not what you want because you were looking at somebody for their potential instead of what they were really offering you or what they were really capable of. Hello, Blue. How are you doing? Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Lemonade. Hello. How's it going, Chef? Hello, Rachel. How are you today? Hello, Renee. All right, so we also have this Bloom card, which ties in, I feel, to this Queen of Wands card, especially since they're associated with sunflowers. This is saying that things are going better for you. And now this person's over here wondering if you are spending any time without clothing with anyone. And I think also missing the time that they spent with you, if that was a thing. All right, let's get some cards from the Love Oracle. Hello, Tabitha. How are you doing today? Hey, Roya, that's going to happen after the general reading. Please keep that in mind, okay? As far as personal questions. So we have bluff and one day, pretending, mask, exaggeration, someday, somewhere, another time. Oh, so this is someone who just thought they could keep telling you that you were going to get what you wanted. So again, this doesn't have to be a romantic connection with this person who's like mad that you're spending all this time or you're about to meet someone new. But I think for the large majority of you, it is an ex who liked to tell you that things were going to be different down the road. I'm going to work on this, or I'm going to change that, or, that person's going to move away, or I'm going to get a different job. But they didn't actually seem to be making progress towards whatever they told you they wanted to do, or whatever, status they said that the two of you could eventually have. So I feel like this is part of the problem is they kept making these promises and then breaking them and feeling like that would not have any consequences in the connection. Like you would just sit there and be like, oh, okay, so you have to reschedule again? Cool. It's a matter of respect, right? I'm sure anybody out there who's like a tattoo artist or masseuse, if somebody just keeps like rescheduling those appointments with you at a certain point, you're just going to be like, and we're done here. I'm going to reschedule you with a different person. There's this need for security that comes through for the star, and I don't blame you. We all want some form of that, right? That this individual from your past was unwilling to offer. The person from your past, I'm going to call the Emperor in the reverse, by the way. This is someone who feels like they don't have control. They didn't have control back then. They didn't offer you what you were looking for, and maybe it's because they didn't really feel very good about themselves. But now they're curious and like a bit nervous that you might be talking about a commitment with somebody new. Someone who's actually in touch with their emotions. Now, I know it says Divine Feminine on here, and some of you are going to be like, but I'm not dating a woman. This is talking about a person, not necessarily their gender, but their ability to actually be in touch with the more compassionate and emotional side, which I would say is a pretty significant requirement for a happy relationship, right? If you can't manage that, then there are going to be issues as far as how we feel, how we act, what we say. And I love that we have the divine masculine coming out as well, because this is telling me that maybe for both the star and the person they are about to date, we have someone here who is able to understand both sides of who they are, or all sides of who they are, able to be in touch with that emotional side, but also that more masculine energy that you know, makes someone a little bit more courageous or able to take action towards what they want. Even though they've dealt with someone in the past who has been resistant and not really wanted to have a relationship, it feels like this star is walking in towards a new connection here that does offer that commitment. So we have someone who's not afraid of commitment. And that makes the Emperor in the reverse a bit nervous. Yep, because they're sitting here like, but you're the only person I want. Even if I haven't really made that clear, even if I've made you wait forever, I thought you would keep waiting. Well, maybe not. All right, let's get some more tarot. This is the tarot of the cat people. Yes, I agree with Lemonade. Hello, Rogue, how are you doing? Hello, Uncog, what's up? I sure hope that you feel safer this year. Yeah, I agree, Renee. What else do we have? Thank you, Bus. How are you doing? Hello, Summoning. How's your day? You're welcome, Apurva. I hope it was helpful. We've got the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Not willing to invest in anything that would be a step backwards because you've already done the healing, because you recognize those behaviors or those habits from previous relationships and you know where that leads, right? That's not what I want, so I probably shouldn't pretend like it is. We have the Six of Pentacles. I'm looking for somebody who is going to return the energy or want to be, you know, a partner. I don't want to feel like I'm responsible for, you know, getting us to level up in the relationship or always having to start the conversation with regards to emotions or what is needed as far as change. This is saying like I want to date an adult. I want to date somebody who knows how to approach things maturely. So with the Magician, I feel we have this newfound courage in knowing what I want, what I don't want kind of thing for this star, especially in dating, but I feel like in multiple areas. So we've got the Hermit in the reverse and Temperance. So I know you're not the right one for me, clarifying this Two of Cups in the reverse, because it seems like you don't really want to learn any lessons. It seems like you don't really want to work on this connection, or you don't want to be held accountable. And I'm willing to wait until I find that person who is willing to actually approach things with accountability, integrity, and honesty in mind, or like at the forefront. So basically, I'm not going to tolerate that, is what the star said, even if it was silent. And this Emperor in the reverse is like, wait, what? What do you mean? I thought you loved me. I thought it was okay that I wasn't changing. You like, you know, didn't leave me the first time or the second time. Why did you walk away this time? There's something about you. It's like you shifted into a different gear and you're just like, okay, well, I guess I tried enough there. And if you're not going to do anything, then I'm out. And they felt like you were going to keep going through that same cycle. I hope so. Hello, Mira. How are you doing? Hello, Captain. What's up? Bus, if you are talking about personal questions, people generally tip between $3 and $10 for a question or two or three. But you can also do the membership donation if you're looking for that. I think it actually takes, like, it charges money differently. So I've had people not be able to tip, but they were able to donate membership. So we have the High Priestess and the Five of Wands. And this to me feels like, how can I How can I talk about this and resolve an issue with someone while also being nervous that you've already decided to date someone new or met somebody new? I feel like you're gonna sense that they are like kind of tiptoeing around, like, so how's life? Good to see you. Good to hear your voice. Yeah, so we didn't really leave things on great terms, so we should probably talk about that. I'm so sorry. I just feel like they're gonna be like extra sweet, and you're gonna be like, this is a lot of syrup. I don't know if I want all that. It's not gonna seem genuine to you. It's because they're really turning up the like, oh, I'm so sorry, like vibe for you. Worried that they're not going to come across as genuine. And why are they worried about that? Because they might be lacking a little bit in terms of how genuine they actually are. Because this isn't necessarily like I'm apologizing because, I did something and I shouldn't have done that. It's I'm apologizing because you're about to like really like move on and I feel like I have to. If you're in that situation where it's like your last opportunity, then it better be a good apology, right? Thank you, Zats. How you doing? Advice for the week about Mr. DL. I am adding that for you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mira. I know YouTube has done some updates. Just like pretty much always had some software glitches here and there, Oh, this one was turned over. We have the Page of Swords. What is this Page of Swords, though? It's clarifying the Six of Pentacles. Oh, so the Emperor in the reverse, the one who done you wrong or made you wait too long. Ooh, that rhymed. They are worried because they hear good things about the person who's interested in you. For some of you, they know that someone's going to approach you before you are actually approached by the secret admirer. For others of you, you've already been on a few dates or maybe even gotten into a relationship with this new individual. And it's intimidating for the Emperor in the reverse because they feel like they don't really compare to that new person. And I'm struggling because I really want to be like, duh, yeah. Like, you weren't interested in that, maybe someday if I want to kind of energy. So they're feeling a little bit insecure because you've been able to find what they were unwilling to offer you with somebody who's actually been pretty consistent on working on their healing. So it's like you don't have to play teacher and help them figure out how to treat you. This new person is already looking for ways to be respectful and make sure that they do right by you. So this is why this Emperor in the reverse feels so threatened and feels like they have to like do too much here to get you back or to get you to let go of this new boo. Because this person, the Emperor in the reverse, has basically assessed it to be, I'm not as good as the person that you're talking to. So how am I going to convince you to choose me? And I think they're going with, I'm going to lie. So let's see if the Seven of Swords comes out. I feel like it's, you know what, I don't think I can really compete, so I have to do something. Oh, the Five of Swords works too. I have to do something a little bit unconventional to make sure that I get what I want. The Five of Swords, by the way, is like someone who's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and it's also someone who's willing to cause a problem for two other people. So we could have a person who's trying to look for ways to just like drive two people apart instead of be seen as like the better option. Oh, Lord. Okay, I don't think this is gonna go the way they think it is. This is the Tarot of the Nile. And thank you, Stephanie. How are you doing? Who is thinking of me and in what energy? Excellent. I'm adding that for you now. And thanks again for the tip. Hello, Sharp. How you doing? All right. What else do we have? And we're at, by the way, almost 25 minutes. So it'll probably be about let's go with like 8 or 9 minutes, and then I'll do the personal questions. Hello, Richard. How are you doing? Magician, Ace of Wands in the reverse, 4 of Swords in the reverse, and the 3 of Cups in the reverse. Oh no, it looks like because I wasn't willing to do my healing or work on, you know, the things that caused issues in our relationship, like I might actually lose you. Like there's someone else here that you're more interested in. When I had the opportunity, I could have changed this. I could have worked on myself and shown you that I was, you know, worth it, or that I was really invested. But with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, they were like, maybe tomorrow. How about next year? Does that work for you? And you're like, no, in fact, it doesn't. Hello, Trey. How are you doing? Hello, Unida. Hello, Moon. What's up? Oh, that's awesome, Trey. I hope y'all get to celebrate whatever that is. We've got the 5 of Swords in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse. So I need to get this person to stop seeing their new boo. I'm going to try to create some drama, right? Which is pretty predictable considering we had the extra card come out where they're trying too hard. The thing is, with the 5 of Swords coming out in the reverse after this, it's like, well, you can try, but I don't think you're going to be very successful because maybe people already know what your motivation is. Maybe we know you have an ulterior motive to be talking crap about your romantic rival. Ooh, this is a slightly predictable thing. Maybe they get their facts wrong, or maybe they overestimate how much the star still cares about them, because you can care or even love about someone or love someone and know that that's not something that you should be investing in, right? Hello, how's it going? I am. We've got the 10 of Wands and the Knight of Wands with Judgment. Yeah, I think you're done. I think you're over this. I think you view them as someone that can, like, pretend to have urgency or make it seem like they're going to work on things. But you've seen them do that little song and dance before, and it wasn't that great, and they probably, like, tripped over their clown shoes. But this is basically saying, like, I'm not really here to try to give you another chance. I gave you, like, 40 of them. Like, was that not enough? I feel like it was enough. I think this is too little too late, and I think whatever they're trying to do to get you to view your new boo differently is not going to work, because you know what their motivations are. You know what their goal is. We have the King of Swords, the Page of Swords in the reverse, and the 4 of Wands. So this is going to be someone who tries to say that the new person in the star's life, so, you know, new boyfriend, new girlfriend, whatever, that this is somebody who is not worthy of being in a long-term relationship with because of some gossip or some, like, hearsay that they find or create. But the problem is we've already got this star individual using their intuition, using their discernment. Like, they've checked this person out. They feel comfortable with this person. So either we have the Emperor in the reverse creating a lie and it doesn't go over well, or we have somebody that is saying, oh, well, did you know this about your person? And then the star is saying, yeah, actually, when we, you know, started to date, I was able to have a really great, honest conversation, and we talked about things from our past that we had worked on or addressed, had to heal from. So whatever you thought was gonna, like, totally ruin our relationship, like, we already talked about that. Like, it's not a problem. It's not gonna work the way that they think it will. Hello, Tony. How are you doing? We've got the Hierophant, the High Priestess in the reverse. So whatever is in their mind a, you know, skeleton in the closet ends up being something that the two of you have already talked about or discussed. So it's just like, nice try. Wah, 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 wah. This is The Truth Is. What else do we have? We have someone who is watching you. Well, that sounds pretty accurate. They wanted to know whether or not you were dating. They see that you are, and now they're nervous about it, right? So they may have access to your social media. Even if you blocked them, they might have gotten a little creative with it. But they've gotten an update on your life somehow, and it has pushed them over the edge. I do feel like if they were able to kind of deal with this quietly or act unbothered for a while, that is done. Now this person is like crashing out in public. People are not sure why this person has all of a sudden gotten so, unpredictable until they start hearing a conversation or mentions about you moving on or dating someone new, when they really had felt like the two of you were going to be able to like figure out the problems, or that you would prioritize your family with them or having a family with them. This is someone who really felt like you were going to just tolerate their procrastination regarding the things that you felt were requiring urgency, or things that would show that they respected you. So they might think it's clear, you're the one, of course we're gonna end up together. But for you, you're like, I don't really feel like I wanna keep hoping and wishing that you're going to figure it out and make a change, when for so long now it's been kind of like disappointing, right? It hasn't happened. All right, let's get a few from the Overthinker's Oracle, and then we'll start those personal questions, okay? Hello, Raziel, how are you doing? Hello, all the great, or is it Ali? Sorry. Oh, are we being disrespectful there, Ali? We can bounce you, Hello, Adam, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out better, right? We've got karmic debt, reaping what one has sown. Okay, so because they didn't want to be committed to you, now they're understanding what it's like when you don't want to be committed to them. They feel like they've been tricked, or that they should have had more time. They feel like possessive of you. I never meant to hurt you. I was so immature. Was? Past tense? Are you sure about that? I dream about making things right between us and you loving me again. Breakup and separation, ending of a relationship or a marriage, etc. So I feel like this is talking about the fact that the two of you are in this separation energy, or you had gone through a breakup with them. But it's also, I feel, what their goal is if you get started up in some new relationship, right? They don't want to be threatened or nervous about someone else getting your time or your love. This is someone who may view themselves as a very skilled manifester. They may have felt like they would be able to get you back whenever they wanted. Yeah. You all right? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so this is someone who feels like they have to do something a little bit crazy in order to get you back. It's a little reminiscent of the reading I did. I think that was yesterday. We've got twin flames, so this could be someone who views your relationship as, the one, but they maybe also felt like that meant that if they talked about twin flame stuff with you, that you would be even less likely to pursue something else or be open-minded, right? So are you trying to call me immature, Adam? Because you can always go watch something else if you don't like it. Otherwise, I would just ask you to be respectful, okay? Even if it's someone else you're talking about. All right, what else do we have? We have, I hope I can reach you before it's too late. And I stay awake all night thinking about you. I do think that at night, this is somebody who's looking into what they could potentially do with magic or spells that would draw you back in, right? Hello, Grey Ghost. How are you doing? All right. Let's see what else. We're going to go to the personal questions. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas. I hope you don't mind, Zats. That's what I was drawn to. What is the advice that Zats needs to hear for the week regarding Mr. DL? What is the advice for the week regarding Mr. DL? Oh, Grey Ghost, I just saw your comment. I prefer to work by candles, and they're the candles I make, so that's probably part of it. But yeah, I have like ridiculous overhead lighting, and it's kind of awful. But I do count on the fact that I think it's something like 82% of the folks who watch my channel are watching on their cell phones. So I figure most of you have the ability to adjust the brightness. We've got the Devil and the Eight of Swords with the King of Swords in the reverse. Wow, Mr. DL is having a little bit of a temper tantrum or a fit. What is it that... Is this like saying there should maybe be a little bit of distance or quiet here? Five of Presents or Five of Pentacles in the reverse, the Empress in the reverse, and the Star. So whether this is DL like headed back towards you or someone headed back towards DL, we have a return that is based in a desire to manipulate and a desire to make it seem like things are better or headed in the right direction when they really aren't. Thank you, Lee. I'm adding that for you. So I feel like this is a caution, you know, either be patient because maybe there's some frustration that is not related to you that you may pick up on when you're communicating, or if this person comes back to you, be very cautious because there is some emotional manipulation afoot. Someone who is hiding something and being dishonest about their intentions. Yeah, Five of Potions or Five of Cups in the reverse. This is like, I don't think you would be regretful if you followed discernment or intuition and didn't engage, or if someone's being like kind of irritable, like give them a little space kind of thing. Hello, Lucy. Thank you for the tip. Let me add that for you. Priorities for this year. And curious if he ever did a reading on me. Awesome. I've added that. Thank you, Lucy. So Zats, be cautious. There's going to be some frustrated, moody people. And I don't think you really are supposed to deal with the fallout on that. All right, so we've got Stephanie up next. We've got who is thinking of me and in what energy? So who is the person that is thinking about Stephanie? Who is thinking about Stephanie? Three of Jars or Three of Cups, Two of Wicks or Two of Wands, and the Page of Petals or Page of Pentacles. I really am drawn to the letter P. We've got peony seeds here, page, and then petals. So I don't know if the letter P is helpful at all, but I do feel this would be a friendship energy. Somebody that maybe you are trying to figure things out with. I feel like there might be a little bit of tension here. Six of Petals or Six of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ace of Jars. Is this someone trying to figure out whether or not to be friends or romantic? No. Is this somebody who has some issues with regards to the friendship connection? Yes. So friendship issue here, or argument, or maybe even some ongoing resentment from an issue in the past. But with the Four of Petals or Four of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like this person is releasing some frustration or like forgiving. We have the Ace of Crystals or Ace of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Crystals. This is someone who did not tell you the whole story and they're going to tell you what actually happened. I do feel like there's some accountability here, but also just like there's some details that you were not aware of. But this is someone who feels like they need to tell you more and be a better friend, it looks like. So hopefully that conversation goes well. Hello, Shannon. How are you doing? Hello, Sandy. You're welcome, Sats. All right, so we've got Lee up next, and this is the Bianco Nero. What does Lee need to know for the week ahead, please? What does Lee need to know? Ooh, Seven of Swords in the reverse. The Nine of Swords in the reverse. Two of Cups. Six of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. I feel like this is a... Because of being in a relationship, I had access to information, and as a result, I'm going to share that information. Because Seven of Swords in the reverse, that's the first card. It's talking about like coming clean, being honest. Like, hey, I know I maybe have said this, or I know I didn't answer your question, or I know I made it seem a different way, but here's what really happened. I feel like this is like a revenge confession. Probably your ex's soon-to-be ex or very fresh ex. There's some unexpected update. Is this information that has not been discovered by Lee yet? No, it's information that you do already know. I feel like it's about finances. Okay, so abandoning responsibility, obligations, or like financial contracts for reasons that are less than admirable. I feel like this, well, let's see, is this about codependency? I feel like there's going to be something that comes out with regards to how he spends the money from his most recent ex. And it's going to put a bit of pressure on him because I don't think he's able to really explain this away, especially if it's like spending money that is meant for a child on, you know, some illegal activity or something like that. This is going to be, I think, made a little bit more clear. Maybe even evidence, something like that. But it gets a little bit more difficult for someone that has lied in a courtroom. Sending you protection energy, Lee. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Jimmy. How are we doing? Hey, Shannon. I do offer long-form private readings if you're interested. My email address is in the description box, and they start at $40 USD. Others, if you just have a question, you can tip or donate. We've got Temperance in the reverse and Strength. I kind of feel like this is still Lee's energy because I didn't really switch over to Lucy's questions. Lee, there's something here that you have the courage to face without it being like a wrecking ball to your life. So this is a quick reminder that you have the ability to get through this, and you've endured more difficult things. So this too shall pass, basically. All right, let's get to Lucy's question. We've got, what should be prioritized for 2026? What does Lucy need to prioritize in 2026, please? We have the Empress, the Three of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. So Lucy, it looks to me like you are being encouraged to remember that that it's not easy to get access to you. I feel like there's been a shift here in terms of how discerning or selective you are, whether it's friendship or romance. There are people who are going to be interested in you that do not necessarily have the best of intentions. And I feel like you're more capable than you were before at sniffing that out and figuring out this is somebody who's not really you know, looking to be a good person or looking to do right by what they say. Hello, Judith. How are you doing? Hello, Con. What's up? So we've got the Page of Cups. Prioritization is things that make you happy, things that contribute to a good mental health or good inner circle around you. I do feel like with the Two of Cups in the reverse in 2026, there's going to be a falling out, and this feels to me more like a friendship. There's a difference in beliefs here between you, yeah, with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a difference in opinion here. It could be about how you act in a relationship. It could be about whether or not, you know, you're faithful in a relationship. But there's something here where it's like, I don't know if I could be friends with you because I believe this and you believe that. And they're at loggerheads with each other. Or, you know, I feel judged by you or you feel judged by me. So if things go off the track or off the rails with somebody that you consider to be a close friend and you're left wondering, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing here? How am I supposed to fix that? Just remember that there are some friendships that, you know, last a little bit less longer than you maybe thought, or some people who may not necessarily be invited along for the next chapter. So if they're not willing to treat you with respect, or if you have such disparate beliefs in how you approach being a trustworthy individual, for example, I think you know that that's just something that needs to probably be retired. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Knight of Rings. Do not take something here. I feel like this is more like work related or stability related. Take your time and make sure that you do like a double check or a review before you submit. There's something here where you're tempted to go too quickly through like a question, an interview, or process. And if you are more diligent and take a little bit extra time, it's going to pay off handsomely for you. And did he ever do a reading on Lucy? Did he ever do a reading on Lucy? Hello, Holy Ghost. How are you doing? Yes, he did. We have the Nine of Swords. There was something in particular, I feel like a specific question that really needed in his mind to be answered. And it has to do with the devil. Okay, so this is she still interested, obsessed, or wanting me, or has she found something else? This was trying to check up on your relationship status without having access to do so through normal means, right? All right. This is the Zodiac fortune telling cards. I'm going to pull 5 of them. You can choose a number 1 through 5, and that'll be your card. And then I'm going to sign off. All right, y'all? All right, so what is number 1? We have carry through with your intentions and you will be happy. What about number 2? Love and happiness is in store for you, more so in the future. What about number 3, please? You are a great leader. And what about number 4? Beware of a jealous woman. And what about number 5? Your personality will get you by. Use it more. Stop hiding that sparkling, delightful personality, you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes.